Hello there. Hi, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Tuesday means show day. Show day means pushing Mongo day. Oh, I hope you guys are all having a fantastic day. Hope you had a good weekend. I certainly did. Got away. Had a nice road trip with the missus. Just a nice little distraction. It's been a minute. But I missed you guys. I missed doing the show. There was no weekend stream. Nick came in from Ireland and did a stream on what was that, Friday night? A good stream, like an hour and a half from Ireland. And his internet connection was better than he has at home. What's that tell you? The infrastructure in this country's crumbling, people. It's not going to get better. Have you watched the news this week? Nothing good, really. I don't even want to talk about it. The politics in the state of this country right now. Fuck it. Everybody's talking about that. I don't want to talk about it. You guys want to talk about it? I don't. Shit's exhausting. Gameplay boy, thank you for tuning in, buddy. I appreciate you stopping in very, very much. I know you're kind of in and out a lot of the time, but it's all appreciated, man. Very, very much. Can't hear myself. But not a lot going on. This weekend, I drove to Kansas City, to Union Station, where they had the Disney 100 exhibition, celebrating the 100 years of the Walt Disney Company and all that magic and shit. So we went there, took a look at some cool Disney artifacts, memorabilia, tchotchke, props. Did I say props already? Uh, Original art, animation, cells is the technical term. I got to look at some cells, animation cells. Trying to think of like the highlights of that. Julie Andrews. So when they like jump into like the cartoon world and Mary Poppins and they ride the fucking carousel around and then the carousel horses leave the carousel with the kids with they had Julie Andrews's horse. They like repainted it. It looked really good. That was really cool to see. If you want to start back from the beginning of the Disney company, I mean, their first obviously he had these like little silly symphonies and short animated films, but the first full length was Snow White. The very first shot of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs was the storybook opening up. I got to see the storybook, so literally got to see where it all started. The very first shot from the first feature length film. He won an Oscar for that. Spent the night in Kansas City. Had some really good barbecue. Shout out KC and their barbecue. Did not have a didn't stop at like the usual like touristy like you know especially considering this was a Saturday. And not only that, but so many people were in town for the Royals game. I had no idea that a Royals game would mean that my hotel is, like, booked to capacity, and families from all over are in there with their coolers. Everybody rocking blue. If I had known, I would have worn more Cardinals gear or more St. Louis City SC shit. I would have represented, maybe got into a fight. But I did not. I was not aware. And I had some really good food. The next morning, Sunday morning, drove to a little town called Marceline, Missouri. It's where Walt Disney was not born. He was born in Chicago. But he was raised and he always claimed to be from Marceline. Apparently, his time spent there in his younger years were very influential in the trajectory of the rest of his life. He always credited that town for him developing his imagination and his skills to become a at the time world class animator and such storyteller. Yada yada. So we did that. Stayed in Marceline. Walt Disney loves trains. He always had a thing for trains. Trains. He's like a train spotter. If Walt Disney was around today, he'd be part of that group of people. I don't know what they're called. I'll have to look this up. But it's the people who get very sexually excited by trains and they film it. The train goes by and they're like, "Oh!" Gotta find these people and let them know that, hey, don't feel bad. Walt Disney was one of you. And he's as American as apple pie, as baseball. Let me see. People, this is going to be in my search history forever. You're welcome, Internet. People sexually aroused by trains. Frotterism. But no, that's not it. Mechanic, mechanophilia. That's not it either. But anyway, I will find this. But Walt Disney got off on trains. Maybe on a train. He's probably a freak like that. He got on a train. He named a train after his wife. He was a grown man who had built a giant model train in his backyard after he became a success. So he lived out in Hollywood, and his entire backyard was a railroad, and his wife hated it because he'd spend so much time in the shop tinkering with his fucking train. And it was a small train, model train, but he was still big enough that he could ride it. He would just sit on top of the engine and like put her around the yard. I If I did this, my wife would understandably leave me, but she put up with it. He's like, "Sit down." He's like, "You sit on the caboose, and like, there's a part here that you'll like, wife, where the ride gets a little rough. So as long as you straddle the caboose just so, it's gonna vibrate, and you're gonna be just as happy as I am to be on this track." Make it. I can only imagine. This is speculation. But he had a whole railroad in his backyard, and he named it after his wife to, like, I guess, try to get back on her good side. Because he loved trains so much, The train station in Marceline has been refurbished into a Walt Disney hometown museum. Okay. His younger sister Ruth had donated all kinds of little memorabilia and photos and artifacts of their childhood and their time spent in Marceline in her advanced age. I think she might have even bankrolled the museum a little bit. So the train station with which young Walt would watch trains pull in and out is now a museum dedicated to him. Isn't that lovely how things come full circle? Checked out the museum. That was cute. Very cute. We actually spent a longer time there than the big old Disney 100 exhibition in Kansas City. The Kansas City exhibition, we like breezed through in like an hour. But we were probably at the hometown museum for an hour and a half, maybe a little more. It was worth the trip up there. We stayed in the only hotel in Marceline. Its name, Hotel Marceline. The lady working the desk at Hotel Marceline had bandages all over her face, including her ear, to which she made sure to let us know and understand why she had them. Maybe she thought, I don't want them to think I'm wearing this bandage on my ear out of solidarity with former President Trump's attempted assassination. Maybe she wanted to avoid that. Turns out, skin cancer. We're checking into the hotel. We get the keys, old school key, because this is a small, little, shitty town. Not shitty. I love Marceline. Love that town. But, they can't afford that newfangled electronic card key swiping shit. So I have a key with the old school plastic like key chain with the number and name. It was cool. It was vintage. And we're about to walk out, and she's like, I guess you guys are wondering why I got all these bandages. And I said, okay. I don't think I have a choice here. I said, why do you have those bandages on? I thought it, but I wasn't thinking it. I just wanted to like leave. I'm socially awkward, but she was more socially awkward. So she pressed on, and she has carcinoma. I guessed melanoma. This is how socially awkward I am. She's like, I bet you wonder why I got this bandage. And she said, I got the skin cancer. To which I went, huh, melanoma? I asked this. I asked this. Melanoma? Do you have melanoma? She said, no, whatever, carcinoma. I had carcinoma, which good thing it's benign. I said, yeah, God bless. I'm glad that it's benign. And I'm glad that you're going to the doctor. I'm glad that he cut it off your face, your nose, your ear. And I'm glad that you are going to the doctor tomorrow at 2 p.m. I know where her appointment was and when it was. I could have shown up for emotional support. I didn't. That's on me. I was not there for emotional support. But she had stitches and not the kind that get absorbed. So she had to go back the next day at 2 p.m. to get the stitches removed. And I went, God bless. I'm agnostic. I don't believe. But when you're in a small town, it just, I don't know. If you're in the South or you're in a small rural town and someone says something that warrants like, T's and P's, oh, God bless you. It seems to help. Instead of just saying like, that sucks or I'm sorry is really weak. If you, I'm sorry is like the I really don't give a shit about what you're saying to me. That sucks is better because at least there's like a little bit of empathy with that. But God bless is really. I'm going one step further. I try, and then she went ahead and she said, "I thought that one of these stitches was a hair, an ingrown hair, like I guess like right here, like on her like." I know women don't like to hear that they have sideburns, but if I could describe the area, it would be the only word I have are sideburns. She's like, so I plucked it. Turns out it was a stitch. So she pulled out a stitch. The doctor's gonna wonder, hey, I put 30 in you. Looking in this plate, I've only pulled back out 29. What gives? To which then the doctor will know what I know, but I didn't want to know. At least he asked. But we get to the room, cute, tiny little room, vintage hotel, old hotel. It's like everything feels damp, but it's not. You know, I don't know what achieves that effect. Really loud air conditioner in the room, but yeah, everything seemed damp. It had a musky smell. It was clean, but it felt dirty just by being so old. All of the furniture, vintage Disney. And when I say Disney, I mean like they bought, like I'm sure at some point in the late '90s, early 2000s, the Animal Kingdom Lodge at Walt Disney World Resort decided to update their shit. You know, you are a world class resort taking in hundreds of thousands of people a year. Your furniture is going to get beat up. Your TV stand, your entertainment center where your big box TV used to sit in. Well, now everything is, instead of a big square, they're flat screens or rectangle. They don't fit. Time to update. Someone buys that shit. Hotel Marcelin buys that shit. So I have a feeling every room has a different theme. We got the Animal Kingdom Lodge. No, Animal Kingdom room with Animal Kingdom Lodge furniture. There were photos on the wall of like the dinosaur ride, but the TV stand was incredible. It was the TV stand, like the big cabinet for an old cathode ray tube CRT TV, but the back wall of it, on the inside, they mounted a swivel arm for a flat screen, a wall mount, and just pushed a flat screen to the very, very front of it. But it like was kind of hanging out too. It looked, I mean, they tried. Bless their hearts, did they try? So it was a little janky, but they made the best of a bad situation, and so did we in that spirit. We were inspired. Um, Being a small rural town, in the middle of fuck all nowhere. Every restaurant was closed in that town except for the Mexican restaurant because every rural town has a Mexican restaurant. Theirs was open, but we had just had Mexican the night before in Kansas City. It was Mexican barbecue. Shout out Fuego. So we had to drive to a neighboring town called Brookfield, and we stopped at Pigskin Bar and Grill. Pub and Grill. They called it a pub. They were fainting culture. Pigskin Pub and Grill. We had pizza. I had a salad. It was delicious. The people there were very nice. Almost forgot my salad, but I did not let them forget my salad. Fat people love salads. We love salads. They're delicious. So I would not let her forget that. Turns out Brookfield and Marceline have the biggest football rivalry in the United States. Fact. According to the USA Today, there was like an online poll, a competition to determine who has the biggest and most hardcore football rivalry in the United States. And yeah, I'm sure you're thinking, Oklahoma, Texas, Dallas Cowboys versus, the Niners, if you're a 90s kid, 80s, 90s kid. Peyton Manning versus Tom Brady. No. Marceline, Missouri Tigers versus the Brookfield. What was Brookfield? Bulldogs. Brookfield Bulldogs. They have an annual game called the Bell Game. And apparently this is some hardcore shit. Real hardcore. People show the fuck out for this. I only read about it. And so I asked my waitress at Pigskin. I figure you work at Pigskin Pub and Grill. You are a resource. You are an encyclopedia of local North Central Missouri rural football rivalries. I said, "Hey, ma'am, I hear that Marceline and Brookfield have quite a football rivalry going on. I am not a local. I don't know anything about it, but that's what I read." She says, "Oh yeah, oh yeah, the Bell Game. Every year they play each other, and people from all over come in for it." She's like, "Did you know that the US?" I said, "I actually did. I just read that the USA Times or USA Today said it was the biggest rivalry in the United States." And I said, "Why is it called the Bell Game?" She says, "Whoever wins gets a bell." So they get a bell, like there is a bell that is contested for like every year, like the same bell. Yeah, I was like, "A bell, like a church bell?" And she's like, "No, it's kind of like the bell that they like if they put it at the top of a church." I said, "Yeah, that's what I said." So that there's a big bell that for I don't know how long now, but long enough for it to become the number one rivalry in United States football history. They play for this fucking bell, and it's a big ass deal. And her mother went to Marceline High School. Her father went to Brookfield High School. And when they play, she said her parents are so into it and they talk all kinds of smack. Her parents growing up on different towns, The waitress went to Brookfield. They get into it. That's what they got going on over there. Went back to the hotel, educated, full of pizza and salad. My doctor would like to know that I have a salad. Next morning, I was like, now it's Monday morning, and surely some of the restaurants in this town are open up again. I would love small town rural cafe breakfast. The thing that I did not mention, but I will mention because this is my show. When you go to Disneyland, the first like as you enter, you see there's the fucking train, and then you walk through like underneath the train station. Then you have like the front square with like the flag, and then Main Street USA. That's what it's called, Main Street USA. And at the very very end of it, you see the castle in the distance. Very picturesque. It's beautiful. I recommend going. Main Street USA was inspired by and partially modeled by Main Street Marceline. That was Walt Disney's vision. He wanted to create a place that looked like just every town USA. Something everybody could relate to. And what is more relatable than some podunk ass random little Main Street USA from northern central rural Missouri? And so we go downtown and you're looking at the facade of these buildings and you see it. You see it, you're like, wow, because it's all turn of the century shit. It's all original. And so you kind of get that little, like, oh yeah, 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 yeah. It's all so familiar. I could see, oh yeah, yeah. I could see the town square or the city hall. Yeah, I could see that, and that store kind of looks like Casey. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I see that Casey's corner there. This little theater, the Uptown Theater. We go to a little breakfast place called Mama Vic's, and of course, there's all kinds of like vintage Disney shit hanging up on the walls. You gotta play it. You gotta know your audience. Why is anyone in this town? And I mean visitors. Why is anyone visiting this town? Because of your loose connection to Walt Disney. So Mama Vic's, written in like that window ink on the front facade window in Disney font. I had incredible breakfast. Had a full order of biscuits and gravy because you just look at a place like that and you go, you have. I bet you got that really good gravy. I bet you got that white sawmill gravy, lots of pepper in it. I bet it's got chunks of sausage in it. And I was right. Those biscuits were fresh. That gravy was the shit. Had chunks of gravy in it. Had a side of American fries. 4 lengths of sausage. Came on a separate plate to my biscuits and gravy. You know what I did with that? I just dumped it on top of my biscuits and gravy to make sure those potatoes were covered in that gravy. My sausage was covered in that gravy. And I went to town. My doctor does not wanna know that I went to town on that, but that's why I had the salad. Lady walks in, we're the only there's one geriatric guy in the corner of the restaurant. I assume he's a local, probably dines there nearly every day. I bet they know his order as soon as he walks in. I bet they have his order. This is the kind of town this is, where it's like they know that this guy is going to be in at this time every day, and he's going to order the same thing because he's probably on a fixed income. He's an old retiree, pensioner, got Social Security, can't afford much, so they got his like two pancakes, side of bacon, like extra crispy, so crispy where most people would look at the bacon and go, "That's nah, I burnt the shit out of that." But that's what he wants. That's what he likes. So they burn up his bacon, two pancakes, no coffee. He does hot tea. Hot tea. They got the hot. They have the bags. They're waiting for him, I bet, and they bring out the hot water. This guy had a cough that he could just not shake. He coughed the whole fucking time, every 20 seconds. So much coughing in his life that he gave up on covering his mouth. It's just, it's a part of him now, and we all have to deal. What up, Franks? What's up, buddy? How you doing? Tingly feeling in your cock. I love that. I'm happy for that, dude. On a Tuesday, you are blessed. But this guy had a cough, and he also had some attitude that I took a little bit of issue with. He wanted more hot water for his tea, and rather than waiting for the waitress to come by, he just he like was like staring her down until she knows him, and then he just held up the cup and was like gesturing aggressively, like she may have missed something, and he was really upset that she missed this detail. So he was immediately on my shit list. But the food was awesome. He eventually coughed his way out the door. Another old lady comes in. Again, this is that small town. Everybody knows each other. As soon as this lady comes in, probably a similar situation where they know that this broad's going to be in there at the same time every day. They're probably getting her food fucking ready. So it's ready when she gets there. It's hot and ready when she gets there. They come, all the two waitresses come in, they hug. How's the baby? So we haven't had it yet. She's getting induced today. I said, "Oh." I look at my wife. I'm like, she's gonna be a grandma. Congrats to her." And they're talking, "Oh yeah, she's already in the hospital over there at Brookfield. I'm just gonna get my breakfast and I'm gonna grab the boys and we're gonna head back over." I got excited for her. I got really excited. There's not a lot going on in this town, and so I caught the fever, not the fever that the old guy had, but I caught this baby fever that this old lady had, and that the waitresses caught. And as I got up and I walked to the register to pay, I leaned over. I said, "Ma'am, you're having a grandbaby today?" She's, "Yes, sir, I am." I said, "Congratulations." I said, "Which number is it?" She's that this will be number 3. I said, "God bless you." Again, I'm not a religious man, but when you're in a small town, you just say shit like that. "Oh, God bless you." I said, "Oh, God bless you," and I walked back to the register. I would knock my girl up, yeah. And I looked at the waitress, and I'm not trying to stroke myself off, I'm not doing but I told the lady up there at the, register, I said, "I'd like to buy her breakfast." The grandma to be. So my wife and I she's like, "Well, her son and his kid are coming in, and they have breakfast with her." I said, "I'm gonna buy their breakfast. They haven't ordered yet." I said, "How much does it usually cost?" "About $30." I said, "Put an extra $30 on that." "I got that. Congratulations." And I didn't say anything to her, but I bought the breakfast because Marceline had been so good to me and my wife those previous 24 hours. I gotta pay it forward a little bit. Marceline was very good to me. If anyone has the good fortune of somehow ending up in rural, central, northern Missouri, and you're in Marceline, I hope you hang out for a little bit. Hope you have a conversation with the local because they are the finest folks you'll ever meet, and I hope you pay that good nature forward. That is not where your subscription money is going, Frank, because I am not pocketing any of that money. Any money going to this show, when it's not very much money, it goes right back in the machine. Very much appreciated because that means that we get to spend a little bit less ourselves in the machine. Yeah, it's really not. It's really not. So again, like I'm not over here being like I'm such a working class hero. No, 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 no. No, that price is really fucking good, and the portions were good, and there was you missed it when I mentioned that there were chunks of sausage in the gravy. That good shit. So I think I ended up spending like with tip $60 at this place, which is like I'm probably impressed of like $60 in a rural diner. That's probably a lot of money. It's like back in the day when you were in high school and like you or college or high school, yeah, and like you had been drinking with a bunch of people and like everybody's rocking the dollar. You go up to the Taco Bell, someone can drive. Either they're ballsy and drunk, or there's like one sober person, and so that one sober person has to go to Taco Bell for everybody. And back in the day, if you spent like $25 at a Taco Bell, that was so much Taco Bell. So in this rural town where you know I'm sure the economy, the price of living all the way out there is I mean, the cost of living is probably a lot less in St. Louis or even less in Springfield. So the cost of everything else probably going to reflect that a little bit. So this tiny little diner, Mama Vic's Diner, I'm sorry, Mama Vic's Cafe in Marceline, damn good prices. Yeah, McChicken is over $2. The McDouble used to be $1. What was it? It was like small fry $1, the McDouble $1, McChicken $1. Probably like a large I think large Cokes were a buck. It's really sad what happened. And then you take that McChicken or take that McDouble, and God forbid you have it like DoorDashed or Grubhub or Uber Eats to you, and then you have to pay that delivery fee. It's so fucked. Kid Holy shit. The chicken quesadilla I've never if I ever had a chicken quesadilla at Taco Bell, it was only because it was part of like a meal deal. So I don't know what the price of a just an a la carte chicken quesadilla is, but I'm sure it is obnoxious, just like everything else is. You know what? God bless Wendy's. Wendy's is still holding it up. They still got like the $5 biggie bag deal. Never went away. Never went away. $5 gets you a burger and like a double pat. You get double burger with cheese. They don't make you pay extra for the cheese like McDonald's does. You can even add a couple of times. Pickles are free if you want to add those. Onions free if you want to add that. Lettuce is free. If they, I think tomato might cost, but you get your double cheat. You get your small fry. You get a four-piece nugget, spicy or regular, and your small beverage for $5. I grabbed me a $5 bag, I think Thursday night last week before I hit the road for my trip. But so they did that throughout all this retarded inflation, artificial inflation that these people are doing, especially McDonald's, to where now other fast food restaurants are starting to offer that too because they realize that Wendy called their bluff. It said, "Yeah, this is still doable, motherfuckers." It told the world about it. So I forgot who just did it. I think I'm trying to remember. It was another fast food chain that just conceded and is offering like a $5 meal deal. And then now McDonald's is planning on doing it too. Yeah, so that's a new thing for McDonald's. They're following the Wendy's playbook. But there's someone else. I just saw the commercial. It might be like Hardee's or some shit for all I know. But they're doing it. Everybody's following suit. 'Cause we're all fucking poor now. We're all poor. Employers cap your annual pay raise at like 3%. Well, guess what? In the last year, inflation went up 9%. I'm making less money right now than I did last year. We're all making less money than we did last year if you count for inflation. We're all worse off than we were. You sell blood, yeah, you like don't you sell blood, plasma. My wife was doing that. They fucked up her veins, dude. They kept fucking her shit up. I'm not allowed to give blood. I'm a hemophiliac, so I can't take that money. I would too. Get an extra like $150 a month. That sounds awesome. All I have to do is like lay here and let you just suck me dry, but not in a sexy way. Do it. Yeah. I wish I could. That's what happens when I have to give blood. 2024. Oh god. I know it was sad when our choice was fucking Biden or Trump, and it's still sad when our choices are probably going to be Kamala Harris or Trump. We just it wasn't a step forward, it wasn't a step back, it was just kind of a pivot. Nick left the country and it all went down. Nick left the country, Trump got shot, Biden got COVID, Biden stepped down from the race, Kamala stepping up, Trump accepted his nomination and named his VP. Nick left the country and left us all here to fucking drown. it'd be like 70-30. I don't know, dude. The way that the DNC has like rallied upon this Kamala Harris news, man, got me thinking. I cannot vote. I don't want to vote for Kamala. I don't want it to be her, but it's gonna be her, and I can't vote for Trump. I have to vote against Trump. I'm not voting for Kamala Harris. I'm voting against Trump. No, I am saying that it is going to be close. It might even be closer than 55-45. Right in Joe's time. I don't want right in Joe's time because I want my. This ain't the year to try to bring in the third party. Right. And I would rather have these 3 years of Biden than have had another 4 years of Trump. I don't want another 4 years of Trump. Nick fucked us by leaving. Nick texted me today, smoking joints as the sun goes down in a valley in rural Ireland overlooking the water, a lake, a loch, if you will. And I said, Nick, that is a bookmark moment in your life. That's like where you fold the edge of the page so that later on you can go back and reference that point. I say that's a bookmark day, dude, where someday you're going to be reflecting and you're going to look at that and go, that was pretty fucking cool. Nick had that today. Kamala Harris is running for president. Nick had a fucking bookmark day in Ireland. But he did, so I blame him. Hey, you know, you're one of many, you know. Half this feels the same way. We're all frustrated. It's all shit. Nick and I used to have a manager, and that was just that he. It's all shit. That's all he would say. Something went down. It's all shit. Andy. I don't remember his last name. I remember his name being Andy. And anytime some shit went down, he would just say, "It's all shit." I carry that around to this day. Are you really a felon, dude? Where were you on 9/11? The fuck? If you are actually a felon, I did not know that. That's wild. What'd you do? Are you even allowed to share that? Do you want to share that? But yeah, that was 5 grand. Sounds like a fucking excuse to me. Sounds like you are pivoting. Likely story. But that didn't stop me. Ha ha! No one would expect a 5-year old. But that was my trip. I've been rambling to nobody for 40 minutes before you got here, Franz. Gameplay Boy stopped in just as I was starting and went, hi, and then dipped. That's what he does. 18 months in Fed for getting too much pussy. They're like, you need a tolerance break. You're like, I'm not just gonna say no to it as long as it's being thrown at me. They're like, well, We'll make it so that you don't have a choice. But that first time after 18 months probably felt pretty good. Taking photos. Did you acquire some new vehicles for your lot? Dude, you want to take my car in as a trade? Would you like would you like the newest 2016 Dodge Dart you've ever seen in your life? Would you like a 2016 Dodge Dart GT with only 65,000 miles on it? Brand new brakes? I got a Dodge dealership blowing up my phone and email to get me to trade in my fucking car. They're like, "We want your fucking car, Stuart." And I said, "I bet you do." While these interest rates are so shitty. Bought 10 cars on Friday, so you just buy them all at auction. What up, Green? Evening. Hope all do well. I am doing well. Dad thinks I'm like, it's okay, Green. Dude, look, the fact that you just came in to say, and you said, if you said those two things right there and then dipped, I'm still eternally grateful. The fact that anyone is watching this shit blows my mind. Bud said he was going to be a little late tonight too. It's all right. Again, if he shows up at all, cool. The fact that you guys showed up is fucking awesome. I appreciate that so much. That's true. Green. Matter, Bud. Oh, fucking hey, there's Bud. What's the matter, Green? Yeah, man. Thanks for tuning in. I forgot my shtick. Forgot your shtick. That was impressive. Welcome, guys. You didn't miss much. All I did was rant about my weekend trip to KC and Marceline, Missouri. I talked about biscuits and gravy and old people in, in Disney. You didn't miss much. Man, we're already almost an hour in. No, I did. I was staying kind of on the outskirts of KC in Blue Springs. Bud's actually like pretty far out there. I'm not going to dox the boy, but you are not where I expected you to be. But shout out Fuego Barbecue Mexican Cocina in Independence, Missouri. You may get shot. You may get heckled by a crackhead. Someone may ask you for a light or a cigarette or money. But once you get into the doors there, really, really good food. Really good food. But I was talking to the guy that owns the place. His name is Sergio. Is it, to get from where you're at to St. Louis, is it like one layover or two? Because it is quite a trek. But I was talking to Sergio, and he's Mexican. He worked for the smokehouse guys or the smokehouse guy. He worked at smokehouse for like a decade and became like the main because they have multiple locations. He became like the main smoker at one of them for a long time. So he learned everything he knows from the smokehouse guy. You take that for what it's worth because I don't know what that's worth. You would know better than me. Probably expensive too. Flights are fucking expensive. Flights are so expensive that when I booked my flight to Guatemala back, what was it? I went to Guatemala in January. When we booked those flights, I was like, it's so expensive that I might as well get first class. Again, not because I have fucking money, because I'm like, if I'm spending this much money, I'm flying comfort. Like I'm gonna get the most out of this motherfucker, and I'm gonna have a fucking fatter seat for my fatter ass, and in-flight meals for my fatter ass, and first to board, so that I can put my shit up and not have to worry about anybody else's shit. So, like, for what I'm paying, I don't mind flying. I like flying. 20 hours, still quite a drive. Dude, the longest I've ever been able to drive in just like one go. Obviously, stopping for gas and shit, but the most I was ever good for was like 8 hours. After 8 hours, I was like, dude, I'm starting to see shit. I don't want to drive any more than like 3.5. My knees like tighten up. My legs get all stiff. I'm just over it. I want to drive to Australia. Drive a boat. And I have no desire to go to Australia. Everything there could kill you. Every animal in Australia evolved to be like, how can I be the most dangerous, deadliest version of this? Family trips we've done St. Louis to Toronto, but me driving with friends, I refuse to do more than 5 hours, like St. Louis, Chicago. 5 hours is gnarly for me, at least. I could do it, but my knee, I would be getting out of that car, and the rest of the day, I would just be pissy about my knee that I had to, on and off the gas and hit the accelerator to get it back up to a speed that I could put it back on cruise control and then tuck my foot behind the accelerator so that I have a little bit of extra room to kind of stretch it out a little bit, but not fully. But I get out of that car in Chicago and everything, like any museum or anything else I have to do the rest of the day, my knee's just gonna bug me. I have bad lower back. I'm not sitting in a car. Dude, I get it. I get it. 26 hours, 2,700. Oh my god. Okay, well, but if you fly, can you do like KC to like LA? And then is it still 19 hours if you go LA to Japan? And that's probably what am I talking? That's definitely the way you have to fucking do it. There's no way you're going New York to fucking Japan. Might have been the dumbest thing I've ever said. To cross the Pacific takes 19 hours. That's gnarly. But again, like when you're paying that much, like I'm definitely getting like where you have like the kind of like was it like business class or whatever where like you have like the seat that folds down into a bed and shit. Like the layout. Join the Mile High Club. That's on my bucket list. That'd be sweet. Yeah, if my wife and I ever go to Japan, just know we fucking in the air. And I'm gonna request and I'm gonna request that they hit turbulence before I tire out. Please find some fucking, low pressure areas so I can find my wife's pressure areas. Well, Bud, you're here now. And Bud, shout out to Bud for kicking in a couple of stories in the Discord. We asked you guys to do it, but it's not often that you guys actually do it. But I'm not here to get on to anybody today. Bud sent us two stories. The first story, pull it up here. Former Attack on Titan editor. So Attack on Titan it's an anime show. I don't watch it, but he was sentenced to 11 years in prison. Here's what he was charged for. Tokyo's High Court latest ruling sentenced his former what's that show called? Attack on Titan editor Jung Hyun Park to 11 years in prison after being tried twice before, like unsuccessfully. The former editor of the beloved Ko- Kodansha manga series Attack on Titan and Seven Deadly Sins has formally been sentenced to 11 years in prison for murdering his wife. Apparently, his wife is named Titan, right? The latest verdict came after a high court ruling which found his testimony exceedingly unreliable. The more he talked, the more he bullshitted, trying to cover his ass, and it just kept getting a little more outlandish, I guess. The formal Tokyo High Court verdict of his sentence was announced on July 18th after the Kodansha editor went on retrial for his wife's murder that reportedly took place in August of 2016. He was initially arrested in 2017 with the prosecution seeking a 15 years. You know what? I'm thinking of this like an American where where if you fuck up, you go to prison for life, as opposed to the rest of the world. Let me retract. Developed world where they try to rehabilitate and eventually release you, hopefully wiser, smarter, more moral, productive member of society. Ruling against Park, the court announced that he strangled his 38-year-old wife, Kanako, at their shared residence in Bunkyo City, Japan, August 9th, 2016. Amid the previously ongoing trial, the prosecution asserted that Park had, quote, strong intent to kill his wife. However, the defense grew up a contradictory picture, claiming Kanako committed suicide or seppu- oh god, I'm going to hell. Sep- seppuku. She committed seppuku, honorable death. The Kodansha editor also maintained his innocence, denying allegations against his wife's murder. As reported by the Tokyo Reporter, the ruling judge ultimately ruled out claims of seppuku, labeling them unrealistic while branding Park's crime as malicious. Why was he on trial? Because he murdered his what? What? Maybe I'm missing something in that question. On the day of the 2016 tragedy, let's go back. First responders came out to address a distress call as Park's late wife was found lying face up at the staircase base. She eventually succumbed to her fate an hour later at a local hospital. So this dude like crushed her trachea or something. Strangled her, but she died like an hour later. So he beat the fuck out of her. This dude's an ass. Fuck this guy. Following the incident, Park purported that his wife had, quote, fell down the stairs, to which the police said, Rikery story. However, the autopsy report revealed that she had died by, maybe we're talking like brain dead. She had died by suffocation due to pressure applied around the neck. Okay, I better not. I better knock it off with the accent. Park also twisted his narrative later, saying Kaneko died, fell down the stairs, beat the fuck out of her face, crushed her, crushed her trachea on a stair. He also twisted the narrative later, saying that she had died as a result of hanging herself with his jacket on the railing of the stairs. Oh, this dude fucked up. He's just changing his story like that. You can't. Come on, bruh. As the court challenged his altered testimony, he claimed at the time that his wife had a knife and was acting violently. Japanese reports stated that Park fell back on shifting his stories about the incident because he could not tell his children that their mother had taken her own life. The July 18th ruling further questions Park's credibility as the judge said, quote, "It is too sudden and unnatural that the wife lost consciousness and then moved around so much that she made a noise and then committed suicide." Also, also read "Our entire childhood was a lie. Hello Kitty is not a cat." I actually knew that. The editor, who joined the publication in 1999, seeks to appeal the decision. I guess this dude's got money to like just keep going. I guess, huh? I mean, it's a big show. I guess, yeah. Park's mother added that her son got along with his wife. Yeah, Hello Kitty is a human girl who just likes to wear ears like a cat. Park's mother added their son got along with his wife and cared for his children. Quote, "It is too sudden and unnatural that the wife lost consciousness." What? It's the same thing. On the other hand, his attorney believes that Park's testimony circled unreliability, which ultimately resulted in the 11-year sentence, not the evidence of murder. So this dude, he really did fuck. So the evidence was like, okay, like you might get off on this. You might get away with murder. And this dude instead was like, wait. Before you say I'm innocent, I want you to know that she actually hung herself instead of falling down the stairs. They're like, what? He's like, you heard me. They're like, well, I think we need to reevaluate this. He went, "Eh." Does anyone here watch Attack on Titan? I think my nephew does. The show is like thousands of really? Let me see. Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan. Also, it's like, yeah, we've been making this show for like, oops, wrong button. There we go. Okay, Attack on Titan television series premiered in 2013, concluded 2023. So 10 years. But how many episodes did it? Let's see. Whoa. One, two, three, 4 seasons with 25, 12, 22, and 35 episodes, respectively, which equals a grand total of 94 episodes. What up, Big Perk? What's up, man? How you doing? Thanks for tuning in to 94 episodes. This dude, so you can. The series has been streamed on Crunchyroll, Funimation, Hulu. It was on Toonami back in the day. So yeah, this dude, he's got enough money to afford to keep taking this to trial. That's cool. Never watched that shit. Just working. Had some time. Want to pop in and check on the boys. I appreciate that very much. This will be the last episode without Nick. Luckily, uh, Nick will take back the steering wheel rightfully. That is his place in the kingdom. He'll take back the reins next week. He'll be getting back from Ireland on Friday. Maybe because I'm not working any day this weekend. So if he's feeling up to it, I maybe we'll do like a Saturday night stream or something. I don't know. We'll have to see how he feels. But Nick will be back next week. He'll be back home Friday. We have missed him. I know we have. But I tell you what, Nick's having a great fucking time. Every time he sends me something, you're going to Europe? Whereabouts, man? That's fantastic. Going back home, baby. Fuck yeah. Bosnia. Dude, what are you most looking forward to? Is it the food? Y'all's food do be banging. Going back to the motherland, dude. Clean air. Yeah, right. How long are you gonna be in Bosnia? Food, beach, family, everything. That's awesome, man. Glad to see you guys getting out, traveling, seeing the world, getting cultured, even if it's already your culture. 2 weeks on 2 weeks is awesome, dude. Like I was when how long was I in Guatemala? 9 days. After 9 days, I'm pretty like, all right, this was cool, but I'm ready to come back. 2 weeks, pretty gnarly to me at least. A lot of people are traveling and stuff. I love that shit. My traveling, I went to fucking northern Missouri for to go to Walt Disney's hometown in the middle of fucking nowhere. Bud, the second story that Bud sent us today. So the Olympics are starting what in 3 days? The 26th, I believe, is the opening ceremony. IOC, International Olympic Committee, yes, enters a new era with the creation of Olympic eSports games. The first games will be held in 2025 in Saudi Arabia. So it's not going to be a an event in the formal Olympiad. It'll be its own Olympics. Is that what I'm taking from this? History was made today when the International Olympic Committee decided to create Olympic Esport Games. The first edition will be held in 2025 in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. The 142nd IOC session in Paris endorsed the proposal by the IOC Executive Board unanimously. For the organization of the Games, the IOC has partnered with the National Olympic Committee of Saudi Arabia for 12 years. IOC President Thomas Bach said, quote, "This is truly a new era for the IOC. With the confirmation by the IOC session of the creation of the Olympic Esport Games, we are keeping up with the pace of the digital revolution. The esports community, represented in our Esports Commission, has enthusiastically engaged with this initiative. This is further proof that the attractivity of the Olympic brand and the values it stands for among young people. Um, the Olympics have no fucking values. Let me just put that little. Let me check that. From coaches touching the young female athletes to really shitty countries getting the bids to host games, then using that that responsibility to commit atrocities on their own people by moving people by force out of their homes. Uh-oh. Did I just rant so hard and so angrily that I killed the stream? My son is already jacked for Fortnite. I can tell. I remember Brazil and then all the building get ruined. See, they're gonna build these mega structures. And then after the games, they're not gonna fucking use them for fuck all ever again. And they're just gonna be left there to deteriorate. Not to mention, they're using the lowest possible bidders to build the shit. They don't like OSHA laws, even though that's a United States, but they don't like safety laws or they don't have safety laws. So lots of these workers die or get injured putting this shit together. They don't give a flying fuck. So you're gonna have like events, but all it is really is just a different game. So we need to find a super obscure game that no one else plays that Nick and I could get really good at. Pushing Mongo's going to Saudi Arabia, and we're coming back with some fucking gold, fellas. I'm coming back with some hardware because I want to play like I want to be the gold medalist in like Jet Set Radio Future or some shit on PlayStation 1. I wanna have a gold medal. No, I will let Nick, because he always beat me back in the day of this game. MX Superfly. We're gonna play MX Superfly Nick will get gold in the freestyle, and I will get silver gladly. But we're gonna 1-2 it for America. Pong. No, there's some fucking because like it's like these fucking nerds that get really good at Tesla. There is some fucking Pong nerds. They don't get the fucking glory that like Tetris nerds or fucking Donkey Kong nerds with their documentaries and shit, King of Kong. But I bet there's some Pong cards out there that just rack up the scores. You'll never touch them. But I'm willing to bet. Give me a few months of training. I will bring back the gold for Jet Set Radio Future. Is that the name of that game? Jet Set Radio Future. Where people wearing futuristic clothing and like inline rollerblading. Jet Set Radio. Yeah, yeah. Jet Set Radio Future. Fuck yeah, dude. This is so badass. I want to win the gold Mario Party. I'd get smoked on that. I want to win the gold on Twisted Metal, motherfuckers. OG Twisted Metal. And I won't even be Sweet Tooth. I'll win with like Calypso or Meter Maid. I'll fuck it up. Yeah. I want to win gold in Twisted Metal. Trying to think of games I play the shit. I want to win. I'm gold medaling Lego Lego Island 2. I'm gonna catch the Brickster first and make sure that he's back behind bars. And then I'm gonna make it a pizza with mom with Papa. Oh god, Paparoni and Mamaroni because my character's name is Pepperoni. So fucking clever this game. The IOC has been engaging with esports since 2018 when they realized that they can make a buck. You're right. Like, what's the cutoff? So funny. As the result of the success of this event, blah, 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 just wanted to study the creation of the Olympic esport games. The commission, under the leadership of IOC member David Leparcier, devised a project which addresses the interest of the esports community while respecting the Olympic values, which again there are none. This is partially true with regard to the game titles on the program. Ooh, here we go. Let's talk games. Let's talk fucking games. Right? Why didn't someone else step up? Like, because the Olympics have abused their lot in life. Again, the stream might cut out again on my angry ranting. But it seems to me like the Olympic Committee and the greater Olympic community at large has seemed to continually find a way to fuck themselves up, fuck the reputation of the games, therefore fucking the well-being of its athletes or participants. So why the fuck hasn't someone else said, I'm going to create the global esports league and we're going to get this shit rolling? Fuck an Olympics. We are the Olympics of it. Like, we're going to do it. Seems like a missed opportunity. And just the fact that it's like Saudi Arabia just does not make me feel warm and fuzzy about it. Because They love human suffering over there, and they love stepping on people. There's a lot of women that play video games, you know? Are they gonna be treated well while they're over there because they don't adhere to the customs? These are socially awkward gaming people. They call each other horrible things. They have tattoos. They say obnoxious shit. They don't have a filter. I don't want someone to smart off to the wrong person in Saudi Arabia, and all of a sudden we got political prisoners. Guitar World Cup, how many slaves died? Yeah, exactly. A lot. How many people were displaced from their homes for that fucking stadium? I guess it's a little too early to talk the games that will be played in these esports Olympic games. Because there's games that are bigger in some countries than others, right? Like in South Korea, isn't StarCraft still fucking huge over there? Now I'm sure it's still a thing here, but not nearly as big as it is over in South Korea. We were just talking about a couple weeks ago, Nick and I were talking about a news story where um, that game was shutting down. That some game was shutting down. It was an MMORPG, I think, and it was shutting down. And some kid flew all the way to Florida to like hit the other kid in the head with a hammer. Never even heard of that game. Like, so how little known and vague and shit are you gonna allow in these games? Or is it only gonna be like if a studio, because you need sponsors, right? So it's like, okay, Sony's gonna be a sponsor of the games, and fucking Nvidia, you know, 'cause you gotta have hardware. Will they test for steroids? They will disqualify any weird teenager snorting Adderall to stay up and like practice. You're not allowed to have Adderall in these Olympic games. No stacker two pills. Uh, you're not allowed to have Mountain Dew Code Red. No aim bots. You have to drink canned water like you're at fucking Warp Tour. It's a Red Bull can, but it's Red Bull water. You can't actually drink Red Bull. Well, I'm sure I'll be tuning into these games. Again, I've got issues with it, which, hey, you know what? Show me an organization and I'll show you a group of people that I probably will have an issue with in some degree. I'm a contrarian in that sense. Fortnite in the Olympics before GTA 6. You're right about that. God, that's the only game I think I give a fuck about anymore. Is GTA. It's the only game I play. And I don't play a lot. But when I do boot up my PlayStation 5, I go to Grand Theft Auto Online. It's familiar. The controls are the same for the last like 20 years. More than that. Same controls since like Grand Theft Auto 3 about. It's familiar. Feels like home. I've downloaded other games. Look, I buy games on the PlayStation Network or whatever the fuck you call it, or I will have PlayStation Plus. Is that what it's called? And they give you like free games every month, so I just download those. So I have a library of games, but I don't play them. Sometimes I even sign in with a pass key. Can't sign in with pass key. I want to. I don't want to use a fucking QR code to sign in. What the Sony? Why do you make it so fucking difficult to sign into the app? Send sign in email. There we go. Damn. Sign in. I like playing random games. So, oh my god. Fuck Sony. I just want to sign into the PlayStation app and look at my library. But instead of like letting me just type in a password, it's like, here, you need to like use a QR code and scan that. Fucking A, dude. Whatever, whatever. I'm done trying. It's gonna piss me off more. Oh yeah, fucking with a barbed wire bat. But what else is going on, gentlemen? Anything else worth talking? Because Lord knows that there's lots to talk about with fucking politics. But again, like last week, I thought when I was like, you know what? There's so much bullshit going on with politics right now, and everybody else is talking about it. I don't want to talk about it. And then the only thing to happen in the last week is like more political bullshit. 2.5 weeks of heat wave. How hot is it up there? When you say heat wave, I know it's like from your perspective, it's hot, but would it be like, oh, this is like a nice brisk day to me? Let me see. So when you say 36 degrees Celsius, 36, dude, 36. So I typed in Calgary weather right now in Calgary. Right now in Calgary, it is 59 degrees Celsius. That means 93 in Fahrenheit. 93 is, I mean, it's hot, but like you're still out doing shit. So if you're 36, let me see, Celsius to Fahrenheit, 36 Celsius, 96.8. It was, yeah, it's hot. But for you guys, that's like crazy hot. It never gets that hot up there. So like a Yeti at work. Let's just say that. I bet. I don't blame. I don't doubt it. I sweat like I mean, I'm fat. But I sweat like a motherfucker when it's 96.8 Fahrenheit or 36 degrees Celsius for sure. More than 3 days. Yeah. It's nasty. Well, the Midwest has another heat wave on the way. How bad are we talking about here, bro? I'm tired of this shit. Let me pull up my local weather. Because this past week, man, that week, these past like 5 days, been pretty fucking nice, dude. Dude, it's 81 degrees right here right now, which means 27 degrees in Celsius. It's a nice, it's a nice, fair evening. Tonight it's gonna get down to 68 Fahrenheit. That's lovely. So let me see the 10-day forecast. Starts to get a little bit hotter on Wednesday, 96 degrees. Fun. Yeah, I like dude, that's the best shit. Like when it's like mid 80s, it's like warm, but like no one's sweating. No one's dying out here right now. It's just good. Just good. 81 is fucking fantastic. 81 is like I'm gonna sit on my porch and fucking smoke a joint and just watch cars drive by, homeless people walking by talking to themselves. It's the kind of neighborhood I'm living in, people. Make this show successful so I can move away from all, from all the homeless people walking by, talking to themselves, and stealing my mail. 60s rule. 60s are cool. 60, I don't know, because then at night it gets really chilly. But like, man, at night, if it gets to like 70, oh, that's the shit. Yes, please. Nice, cool summer morning. You're like the first person out there on a boat on the lake, and you just fucking you haul ass in that boat. Last time I drove a boat, it's been a while since I haven't driven a boat since before COVID, and it was so like COVID first hit the U.S. in like what January, February 2019. Then it all went to shit in like March. This was December of 2018. The winter a boat bought from Stu. Yeah, buy a boat from me. Boat sales are starting to slow down. I hate it. I was just looking at shit today of like what my department's got going out. Not a lot. Slowing down. We're gonna have one more little like oomph at like Labor Day, and then it's over. And then we're fucked. I'll be trying to sell ATVs and shit through the winter. Um, but I was on a lake in Arkansas called Bull Shoals, northern Arkansas. December, middle of December, and one of the brands of boat that I work on, they build their boats down there. And at the marina there at Bull Shoals Lake, they basically had like one of everything. Everything from like 16, 17-foot aluminum, like crappie boats with like a 40 horsepower motor on them, all the way up, to 19-foot aluminums with like a 150 on it. Then you go to fiberglass, and you've got 21-foot tournament bass boats with a fucking 250 Pro XS 4-stroke on it. And then you had the pontoon boats. You got, one of everything, one of those. Then you got a couple cruisers or uh, like a fish and ski combo. And then the biggest boat I had out there that day was a 26-foot offshore, like bay boat, but like more aggressive, deeper V hull, so you could kind of go out a little bit more. But it had a twin 350 Yamaha four strokes, 26-footer, yeah. But again, it's like December. It's cold. The water was glass. It was so calm. I'm the only person out there. I brought my coworker because it was one of those things where we were touring the factory. Before COVID, I would go down to all of our boat brand plants and shake hands and watch shit get built on the assembly line and talk technical shit with people so that you could then relay it to your customers. And then part of that trip would be going to the marina and just driving one of everything and try to break them and like put them through their paces so that then you can relay that excitement to people that you're trying to sell to. Oh, well, let me tell you about I'll tell you exactly how much fun this fucking boat is. Um, I took my coworker, female, on a 21-foot bass boat with a 300 on it. It was a Pro XS four stroke, the V6. Crystal clear water, calm as shit. Did not have the port side console. I have a console with a windscreen. Port side, passenger side, nothing. I'm hauling ass down Bull Shoals. My GPS clocks me at 73, which is fast as fuck on the water. That's very fast on the water. I got my coat on and shit. I got my gloves on. She has her coat on, like hat on, hood up, drawstrings tightened on the hood, sunglasses on. You could just barely see the sunglasses peeking out. Like she looks like the invisible scarf wrapped around her neck, up her fucking head. She looks like the invisible man. I'm hauling ass across the lake, screaming. I get back to the marina, dock the boat, tie it off. She doesn't say a word. She just gets up. She gets out of the boat. She walks down the dock. Where at the end of it, there's a houseboat that has like a restroom and shit on it for us to use, and it has heat. She walks into the houseboat, slams the door, and I don't see her for like an hour. I pissed her off so bad. She just was taking the entire brunt of that. I'm like, I gotta drive these fucking boats. I'm sorry. I'll make it up to you. I'll buy you dinner tonight. But yeah, I pissed her. I broke her. I broke her ass. She was pissed. Oh, I need to go back there. I have not gone since before COVID. I have not driven a boat since before COVID. Sucks. Talk to customers about new boats. I'm like, looks cool, doesn't it? Looks fun. Looks really fun. I can only imagine how fun this fucking boat is. Hola, amigos. ¿Cómo está? Front office. Thanks for tuning in, buddy. Road trip to Razorback Country. You did ask, is Arkansas really nice? Look, Arkansas. I'm conflicted with Arkansas. Um, Look, I'm white. I'm a big white bearded guy. I look like every other guy in Arkansas, so I blend in, and they treat me just fine. So when I go down there and stay the night and, like, tour the factory and drive the boats, I'm the guy from the head office, so they treat me with a certain level of respect and whatnot that's probably not warranted. Um, but then the locals are also very friendly. But there's, if I wasn't a big fat white guy with a beard that looked like everybody else, I'd probably have some issues. There's some towns. Arkansas still has like sundown towns where it's like, hey, if you're black when the sun goes down, you should probably get the fuck out of here. It's just, are they? Did they vote in? They voted Sarah Huckabee Sanders as their governor. She is a fucking retard deluxe. Um, so I will judge them on that. That they think that that is your represent. That's who you have elected to be the face of what you want your state to be. That cockeyed bitch. Okay. As soon as she got elected into office, they're like, she spent $19,000 on her podium. Podium. She didn't do shit all. You have not heard of her doing fuck else except for like banning books from libraries because there was like a gay character in it. Right. So Arkansas, uh, dumb but like sweet. Dumb, ignorant, hospitable people. I'm trying my best to hold down the fort, but you need to take all the pride in the world in a 14-foot John boat, dude. Everybody, the John boats are the shit. Everybody's got, or their grandpa had a John boat, or you know, everybody learned on a John boat. Okay, if they're one step above like being blessed enough to have like a grandparent just teach them how to fish from the bank. I mean, the cool grandpa had the John boat. If your grandpa had a John boat and taught you how to fish out the boat, cool as fuck. Little like 10-foot, 12-foot John. If you got a 14-footer, that means you got a room for one, two other boys. You got room for the boys, and you got room for a cooler. That's a good fucking day on the water, dude. Take pride in the 14-foot John. Yeah. Dude, front office, where are you still in you still in our nation's capital? You tuning in from another airport? Cool and her friend. Dude, like I mentioned earlier with Nick and the fucking the J in the lake, dude. That's a bookmark day. That's a day well lived. 14-foot John, cooler with maybe a couple of beers, a couple of like shitty gas station sandwiches tucked in there, can of Pringles, got your bait. Two rods per dude. Do some fucking fish. Dude, tear it the fuck up. You might just be catch and releasing. Or that cooler as you drink them beers, you're making room for some like crappie, some bluegill, get back to shore, and you're just cleaning panfish, bagging them up, throw them on ice, Sharpie the bag, put your date on it. Get home, fry that shit up with hush puppies, dude. That's like the perfect fucking day, man. I posted my dinner in the Discord. I'm gonna shit my pants. Well, let's go to the Discord for this. Let's see. The Chuck Norris rap? The fuck is that? Let me pull this up in the a roundhouse kick to hunger. I'm trying to see. Oh, good God. Who has this? This is obnoxious. The Chuck Norris rap. You'll be ready to take on the man himself after eating this wrap. You will still lose, but you'll be ready. Consists of 3 meat chili, a Nathan's all beef hot dog, guacamole, pico de gallo, pepper jack cheese, rice, jalapenos, free. That's good. You got the Fritos in there for some crunch because that's all a lot of like mushy shit. And then you have your choice of Chipotle ranch or a 5 alarm sauce because shitting your pants from the rest of that ain't quite enough. Available for a limited time at Longboards Wraps and Bowls. I have never heard of Longboards Wraps and Bowls, but their logo is like old school in like a Dogtown Z Boys kind of way, and it makes me want to eat there. Longboards. I when I go back to Kansas City, there is a chain. There's a chain up there, and I don't know if it's exclusive to Kansas City, but I know that they don't have any of that shit here. Called Hawaiian Brothers. I love Hawaiian food, Hawaiian street food, and I saw that they sell spam musubis for like 250 a piece. I didn't do it while I was up there, but I wanted to go into Hawaiian Brothers and buy like 5 spam musubis to take home with me. Longboards wraps. Let me see what else they got. I'm intrigued. Yeah, they have one in St. Louis. They have a longboards in St. Louis. Longboards, wraps, and bowls. In St. Louis, they have a couple of. I mean, at least when I lived there, they had crazy bowls and wraps, and I liked crazy bowls and wraps. You had like health food place, longboards, wraps. Well, here we go. Here this tab. Hang loose, eat flat, eat longboards. They have a new location, Overland Park. Look at this menu. I like that there's like fairly regularly on this show. At some point, Nick and I pull up menus to restaurant like a real couple of fatties, and look at restaurant menus and go, "Oh, look at that! I bet that's so good." Hawaiian Brothers and St. Okay, so when I go up to St. Louis, I will have to sniff out Hawaiian Brothers because I love spam musubi, and I have probably not had a spam musubi since the last time I made spam musubi. Again, probably pre-COVID. It's so good. Hawaiian Bros just got mac wraps. Like Like a Big Mac style wrap? Is that what you're saying there? Cabo chicken. Chicken, guacamole, pepper jack, cheese, pico de gallo ranch, rice and chipotle ranch. Bomb. Cabo steak, Thai chicken, teriyaki, that's cool. Kung pao, pork luau with pineapple. Ooh, I love that. Teriyaki pork with pineapple. Let me add it. Hot turkey with turkey, pepper jack, olives, spicy crab, five alarm beef with napalm sauce. Damn. They make their own sauces. The Viet wrap, gluten-friendly tortilla with chicken, rice, noodles, lettuce, carrots, green onion. So it's like a hand roll kinda, but then it's got chicken, mozzarella cheese, sriracha, and a sweet and spicy sauce. Oh my god, I got more. So those are the what do they call those? Grilled style. Okay, so now we got cold. I love a cold wrap. Hot wraps are okay, but like when it's a hot summer day, dude, like a cold turkey wrap with like Swiss and like fresh cut avocado in it, maybe some bacon if you're feeling like frisky like that. It's the best, dude. I'm about to be a fat guy drooling. I gotta swallow before I drool on myself thinking about this. The A bomb, turkey bacon. There you go, turkey bacon, Baja Club, Caesar salad, Caesar chicken. That's cool. My wife would dig that. Thai roll, smoked woody with pork, pepper jack, cucumber, carrots, pineapple. I'm down. I'm down. OG style. The 619. Shout out Ray Mysterio. Steak and shrimp. Oh, a little surf and turf. Bacon, guacamole, pepper jack, pico de gallo, olives, hard boiled egg just to make your fart smell really bad later. Rice and chipotle ranch. Here we go. Samoan. Pork with imitation crab. I love imitation crab, dude. I love real crab. I love real crab so much that I fuck with imitation crab. I'll buy, dude. Sometimes I'm feeling fucking a certain way, and I'll buy like 'cause now they have like the snack packs of fake crab leg meat, so it's like the sticks, and I'll buy like a couple of those and like a bottle of like cocktail sauce, and I'll fucking watch like football, NFL season, and just dip my crab meat in like the fake cocktail sauce. It's like it's like a poverty comfort food. Samoan pork, yeah, pork imitation crab with man shrimp too. God damn, mozzarella, vegetables, pineapple, egg, rice. I might, dude, I might fuck with that Samoan country boy. Pork, turkey, bacon, garlic, potato salad. So you have potato salad and a hard boiled egg in there. That's gnarly. It's probably good, but like your farts are be rocking. Sushi wrap. Okay, cool. Sushi wrap. Imitation crab, shrimp, cucumber, guac, nori, rice with a wasabi may. I'd fuck with this. I gotta go. Again, I'm not gonna sniff like if I got other choices in KC, obviously I'm gonna do that, but I gotta pull the trigger one of these days. Hawaiian sliders? Oh my god. Yes, please. Sweet s'mores wrap. Fuck off. Sides, potato salads, hummus with pita. Dude, Maui, dude, my favorite flavor of kettle chips are those sweet Hawaiian onion ones in the purple bag. I forgot the name of that brand, but they got that purple bag of the Hawaiian sweet onion kettle chip. Oh, family style hummus, which means family serving, which means Stewart's portion of hummus. Dude, let's go. I'm a fan. Stooge is hard. Yeah. Yeah, let me show you. Okay, because you got okay, because we got some Casey people or people who know Casey. You got to do fuego when you're up there in the Casey area in Independence, Missouri. Fuego barbecue Mexican cocina. Look at this food, man. You got to do it, man. They're just it's beautiful, man. The rice is just perfectly cooked and fluffy, Spanish style rice. They must marinate that chicken like overnight or something, dude. It's just saturated with flavor, and the smokiness still goes through. Get yourself a fucking plate. They've got tortas. I went there, and sadly, they were out of ribs. I blame these Royals, those Royals fans. They apparently they had a good business day. I talked to him. He says that business is pretty up and down. There's good days and there's bad days. But considering that the Royals were playing at home on a Saturday, then again, my hotel was booked the fuck. I guess I had no idea that KC gave a fuck about the Royals like that, but they showed the fuck out when I was in town. Kind of pissed me off. I was hoping for like a chill ass weekend, but like KC showed out for the Royals. Um, so I wanted ribs. He was sold out of ribs, so I had to do the whole smoked chicken and 2 portions of the sausage, of the smoked sausage for the wife and I. And I was just making, dude, I was just making little fucking tacos with my corn tortilla, sausage or chicken, pickled onion or and radish. And then I took that. They had the spicy, the verde sauce was mild, but the rojo, the red, they brought the heat. A little bit of that, but the pickled onion would cut through the heat, and it just got smoky. It was awesome. Yeah, front office, dude. You gotta promise me. Fuego in Independence, Missouri. Unreal. He's been in business for like 3 years. I want this dude to succeed. He totally deserves it. Ever had the spicy? Yeah, like where they're pickled and spicy. It's the shit. It's so good. But they'll do, 'cause sometimes it's carrots, and then they'll also still have like like bell peppers in there too and stuff. Yeah, it's almost like a what's that shit that they put on hot dogs in Chicago? The pickled like oh I have a jar of jardinere. It's almost like that, but spicier, but spicy. Yeah, I love it. There's a place here in town called Purple Burrito, and like they have like a little like cold bar, and it's just their salsas and like little like souffle cups with lids. So like when you get your jardinere, um, you get your order, you're waiting for it to arrive. You can like fill up these cups with those like spicy pickled veggies and shit for the table. And I'll grab like 3 of them, bitch, 3 little souffle cups of the spicy carrots and shit for myself. I love that shit. I already ordered my dinner. I got Chinese food. I have shrimp fried rice waiting for me after this. We just got home yesterday. No time for grocery shopping and shit. Fend for ourselves night. My wife probably got Chipotle. She's addicted to Chipotle. I think Chipotle is shitty. Oh my god, she actually got Chipotle. That's hilarious. For some reason, every time she orders Chipotle, the updates for the delivery go to my phone, and only when she orders Chipotle. Antonio has left your Chipotle order in a safe location. That's good. Yeah, wife is obsessed with that shit. And I think okay, Chipotle or Qdoba? Now they both suck, but I would say Qdoba is better than Chipotle. I don't know if that's outrageous or not, but I will stand by that. My wife seems to think that that's an outrageous statement to make. But Chipotle's quality has fallen so far, and then and their portion sizes they peeled back. They gotten cheap. They got cheap with the portions. They used to like hook a brother up. They used to like double wrap for nothing. Oh, I need a second tortilla in there to hold that shit together, bro. Those fajita veggies just set me over the top. It's gonna explode. Need you to throw in another tortilla. Not a problem. Moe's. I think I've had Moe's, but I think it was like a Moe's at like an airport or some shit. Cool. Front office says you'd rather have QT. I knew it wasn't crazy. Front office appreciates good food. He's with me. Yeah. I gotta give Moe's a proper chance because again, I swear I think if I ever had Moe's, it was like at like Houston Airport or some crazy shit. You can't judge a motherfucker off that. I will judge if it's like Whataburger or an In and Out at an airport. You know they're bringing the A game. Those, you go to LAX, you get In and Out burger. You go to like Dallas Fort Worth, grab a Whataburger. You know, it's like that's the best they got to offer. Better queso at the dough. That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Front office classy. Sophisticated bitch like that. All right, guys. 2 hours, 10 minutes in. I dap you up so hard too. Yeah. Yeah, bro. Dude, I can't dude, look. Next week we get Nick back in the fold, back from his really beautiful vacay. I hope he's shared some stuff with you guys. Because the stuff he sent me, he's really having quite the time. And we're having a laugh. Obviously he's maybe poking fun of the people, and they're kind of rude. I guess the food could be better too. Obviously, it's English food, but it's just an incredible country he's visiting. He's having a great fucking time. He'll be back on Friday. We'll see about maybe doing a stream this weekend if he's up to it. Um, and then soon afterwards, we'll get the front office. Dude, we'll really be kicking again. I know Nick was talking to you guys about once he's back in town, he's really gonna put his head down and grind on this thing and really and I'm with him. Um, but to get Nick back in here and shortly afterward get front office back, dude, get the three amigos back in here. It's been a while. I'm really excited. But this was a fun little experiment. Just me. Glad I'm not doing this forever for your guys' sake, but I appreciate you guys still showing up for me. Nick's a bitch, but the band needs to get back together. That's yeah, for sure. You did more than good. Fine, good sir. I appreciate that very much. Um, yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's always a great time. I always have fun on this. No matter who's on here or who's on here with me and who's in the chat. Just the fact that there's someone willing to watch this shit blows my mind. So I appreciate it so very much. Um, I hope you guys continue to have a great evening. I hope you guys have a great rest of the week. Um, keep up the chatter in the Discord. It got a little quiet over a couple days there. But please, by all means, like Bud did, dude. I appreciate Bud so much for dropping a couple of stories in there, things that he wants to hear talk about or join in the discussion in on the show. I mean, this is a group thing, man. This is an open discussion. Anything you guys want to talk about, I'm dying for material for sure. Um, so shout out Bud for throwing in some stuff for the show today. Um, everybody else, please feel free to do the same. Let's keep the discussion going. But this was episode 55. Nick Greater than Payne Stewart saying it. Nick, look, Payne Stewart rocks the hat. But damn it, does Nick not look fucking swell in that hat as well? Nick, yeah. I thought I could rock that style of hat. Nah, those hats look tiny on my big head. It just ain't right. Nick rocked it. And that golf course looked like fucking awesome. But thank you guys for tuning in. Yeah, episode 55 of Pushing Mongo. That's so wild to think about. 55 episodes of this. I don't think we've ever missed a week. Just kicking along. But you guys have a great evening, and I will see and talk to you guys very soon. Peace.